So the big news is a rumor came out from I think Reuters that Bumble was looking to potentially be acquired. So this is just a rumor; it didn't come from Bumble themselves. But the stock, it went up by 15% immediately, and then went back down to the same price it was the day prior. So to me, it just seemed like a good opportunity where this is a stock I already like. It's a stock that I actively own, obviously, where I just wanted to kind of round out my position and hit my target allocation. Because the risk reward seemed very strong, where if this is real, the stock's going to move up fairly substantially. And if this isn't real, the stock didn't jump like I would have expected it to, where I don't think it would have too much of a downside. You never really know.
Right.
Um, but it's similar to when Rivian was like under $13 briefly. And I was like, this seems like right before they released R2. And I was like, this seems like a great opportunity. It was the same feeling
To add
here.
some shares. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
So it was a surprise that they might be looking for, that they would have gone out looking for an acquirer, a potential acquirer. Or the Reuters article, if I'm not mistaken, is indicating that the board has hired a consultant to go look for potential acquirers of Bumble. So if that's the case, if that is in fact what has happened, there's definitely reason to be both excited and concerned. The reason to be excited is because Bumble at even $3 and even at $4 a share is pretty much undervalued. So I went through this sort of exercise of trying to determine what is the value of Bumble relative to sort of like Match, for example, or Grinder. And Grinder has a much higher price sales ratio than Match does. So using Match as a sort of like the low bar price to sales ratio, the maximum that it would be worth to a Match would be roughly $11 without them diluting their own price sales ratio. So going above $11 just seems incredibly unlikely. So there would be some discount from $11 even by an acquirer such as Match. I would suspect if Match was going to be a potential acquirer. Now, that discount would have to be enough for it to be an attractive deal, meaning, maybe $7 or $8 would be the sort of like top of the line of what they might be able to get. But it would certainly be above the current price of 3, right? Or current as of that day that this was rumored to be happening. But the bad news, like maybe somewhere between 3 and 8 or 4 and 8 is a possible potential acquiring price point by either Match or maybe some private equity firm or whatever. And these are all sort of my own personal speculations, by the way. Nothing is based on any kind of factual reality. But the bad news here is that if they were going out shopping it, if that part is true, then that means that what I was hoping would happen, which is that Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder and CEO, having come back in and having been working on a new product for the past year, the board may not be as confident anymore on their new product. And if that's the case, and a deal does not happen, then there is, I think, downside to Bumble's price point that could cause it to fall even below the $3 mark. And this is why I was, in my sort of assessment of it, I was like, this is kind of good news, bad news. That here's the good news that if an acquisition happens, it'll be at some kind of premium. But the bad news is that if it doesn't happen, and the reason for them looking for an acquirer is because they're not as confident in their product and their product sort of falls flat, then that could mean that they continue to have declining revenues, and with $450 million of debt, that's obviously never a good thing. So, my approach has been, let's wait and see. They're going to again have a quarterly report that's going to happen in the next month or so. So I'm just going to wait for that and make a decision after we hear more from Whitney, which I'm sure everybody is going to be asking about Bumble, a
Yeah.
potential acquisition from her. So, um, and I'm still hopeful that they are going to be coming out with a better product line, because in every interview that Whitney has given, there has been this sort of like commitment to solving this problem by her, and that she is living and breathing and bleeding Bumble in her life. So I am curious to see what they come up with, and yeah,
Yeah.
I'm holding, but I haven't added.
I do think the product piece is a real concern. I've been saying this every earnings call. They talk about how they're getting closer and closer to this product
Right,
launch, but we have no details of what the product actually is, or what it'll look like or how it'll operate. They just officially said in the last earnings call that they're going to move away from the swipe, which you could
right,
kind of already deduce just by listening to the earlier calls. Um, and I think the more likely reason is they're just trying to keep things under wraps, mainly to not let competitors know what they're doing.
right,
But another angle could be maybe they're just not 100% confident in their direction. Obviously,
right,
as an investor, I'm hopeful that is not the case. Um, in terms of a potential buyer, I do think it's a very good time to buy Bumble in terms of the stock's really been beaten down and they're on the precipice of this product launch, assuming the product launch um,
right.
is going to be strong. And if they,
Absolutely. If you're like Match, if
right,
you're Match, you could take out a competitor that has almost $1 billion of revenue. So you add that, $900 million of revenue to your own revenue line. You take out the risk of the competitor sort of all of a sudden coming out with a product that catches fire and like destroys your own revenue. So there's zero risk from that. So absolutely, there's good reason for a company like Match to come out and buy Bumble for a pretty substantial premium, and it would be smart of them to do that. So you know, if I was to think about it fully, I would say your decision to purchase more at the sub $3 price when you
yeah,
purchased it was actually a sound
286.
decision. Yeah, having done the analysis after I saw your purchase, I was like, actually, that was the right move, probably
Thank you.
to have. Yeah, absolutely. But then I was like, should I follow Dustin right after I said I'm not going to do anything? And I was like, damn it.
You should
I
just
think
say,
he's
never
right.
mind,
But
Dustin
I'm
bought, I'm
just
buying.
or selling. I got to do the opposite. No.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, I did consider buying after I saw yours, because I was like, I did the analysis, and there's definitely going to be more upside. Not definitely, never definite, but
It's
more
probable
likely to
upside.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, more likely to be more upside than downside. So, but the fact that that gave me concern about their product, which is what I was really excited about, is why I sort of held back. But I think the right move was to have purchased, and maybe even at this price point is not, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know why Bumble, if the rumors are true, I don't know why they're deciding to look for a acquirer right now. It does seem like a weird time. Because if I
yeah.
were them, I would release the product. Hopefully, the stock price has some recognition of that. And then if they wanted to sell, they could sell for an even higher price. But
Well, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because then if you wait until the results, then the results are known, and then Match might be like, "Well, we got nothing to worry about. It didn't
right,
catch on, right?" So then the premium that they might be willing to pay to take out a competitor that might have a product that kills them is lower, right? So it's always a give and take in these kind of scenarios.